Well, let's go deal with a tree that blew down in the last windstorm. So, if you've been watching Bush Hippie for a while, then you know about the wake up call that I got last winter when I really tore my shoulder up something awful at work. The one thing led to another, had surgery on it back in November, and it is doing better. But I decided after spending an entire year without full use of my dominant hand, I'm never doing anything like that to myself again. So when I've felt up to it over the last going on 13 months now, I've been building things, modifying things that I already have, just fixing so that moving forward, I don't have to kill myself just to do simple homestead tasks. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I showed you some of the modifications that I made to B.R.U.T.U.S, the garden tractor, to make sure that I've got the stuff I need with me for whatever I happen to be doing at any given time. And now I'm going to show you an attachment that I made to hopefully, if it works the way it's intended, it'll make harvesting my firewood easier. It just so happens that after a windstorm recently, tilt you down a little bit, this sucker came down, and it's a deadfall, so it's already cured. I just got to get it inside where it can dry out, and it'll be good firewood. Today, we're going to try using my homemade garden tractor crane attachment to pull that log out of the brush, get it out here where it's easier to cut, and if all goes well, either pick it up and carry it down to the woodshed to process, or at least be able to load it into my utility trailer to haul to the woodshed. So, first things first, I've got the boom mounted, but it's not set up yet. Show you how we do that. First things first, gotta go to the rigging box, and we need a block. The block hangs on that flange. Shooby doo ba doo boo ba doo. There we are. Y'all actually get to watch me set all this up this time. With my block opened up and ready to take the cable, I pop the free spool release on my winch, lock it open, and start pulling out my cable. Goes over the first gasket on the boom. Normally I'd have KD out here running the cameras for me since it's Saturday, but she's feeling a little under the weather today. Don't know if she caught a bug at school or if it's just her allergies or what the heck's going on there. So she's chilling up in the house where it's warm just to be on the safe side. Okay, there we are. That's ready to string out and pull. Hopefully, my winch will stay in free spool and not lock up on me mid-stride and put me on my ass. So far, so good. Okay. Now, you're not going to be able to see me because I've got to lock the winch and run the buttons for it, but you should be able to see the log and see if she's going to come or not. I haven't tried this yet, so we're both kind of learning at the same time. Aha! Don't know if you can see or not, but Brutus is doing a wheelie. Everything was going fine, and then this blasted log got hung up. So I'm going to go find where it's caught and cut it loose. Oh, blackberry right in the back of the calf muscle. Love it. Hey, you went flying. Ugh. You can't park there. Ugh. Okay, I cut it that far back, so let's see what happens now. Oh, that's a lot better. Okay. So, we're that far. Now, I'm going to pop it into free spool again and see if I can get the other half in one shot. Oh. Oh, right in the butt. Ugh. These blackberries back here are freaking vicious. That's all I get. Go for bullets. That cable might slip off. Really don't feel like I got a good bite on it, but we'll see. Oh, nice. I really thought we were going to get hung up on that every tree. And now we landed. Wow. I wish tests of all my inventions went that good. So let me cut this loose and then I'll take you off the crane boom so you can see what we got. So the length of these two logs is actually too long to put them in my trailer. So they're gonna, wherever I decide to saw them up, yeah, they're gonna have to either go full length or I've got to buck them some more. But either way, I only had to crow back through those blackberries once. I'm happy with that. Yeah. Okay, now that I got them dug out of the brush, time to process them. So, I think this big sucker, which is, I just measured 14 foot long, think I'm gonna lop him in half, and I think I want to go ahead and see if I can carry it out of here on the boom. So, there you are. I got y'all set up on the flatbed on the back of Brutus. I'm going to string the cable out, hook this log about halfway down, and what I'm hoping is I can pull it forward and get it to kind of jam up against the boom so it doesn't swing. Then I'll be able to carry it all the way up to the house to process so that I don't have to screw around with loading the chunks up in a trailer to haul them up to the splitter. Let's see how it goes. Okay, we're hooked up. Lock the winch, and I'm on the wrong side of the machine. So keep an eye on that log for me while I go push buttons. Look at that. Okay, now will you catch... Whoa! What the hell was that? Oh, everything just settled into place. That's all that was. Okay. Well, she's up there. Let's see here. I can't lift the front end of the tractor off the ground, so that's a promising sign. Doesn't really want to do the thing I was hoping it would, though. That's the only downside. Well, let's head up to the house and see what happens. I mean, for all I know, we're going to go full teeter-totter and wind up doing a wheelie as soon as I put it in gear. Dang it. That's going to be problematic. Yeah, I don't like it swinging around like that since I've got to go on the road to get up to the house, and some of my neighbors don't exactly drive safely. So let's see here. Play around with this just a little bit more, because if I can get it to stay in that notch, we're golden. But okay. Well, that seems a little more inclined to cooperate. I know it'll be easier to cut the darn thing up if I bring the chainsaw. Gotta kind of wiggle my way around the chains. Got my measuring stick. Okay, let's see if we can get it to the house. Dang it. Okay, so obviously I need to add some pieces, maybe something up around here that hangs down, one on either side, so that there's a little bit more holding it out like that. The idea here is, got the machine to where I can get back into the brush with it, but I'm trying to fix so that I can haul logs about this size and smaller out without having to wrestle the utility trailer through the brush, because it's actually wider than Brutus is. And I'll admit, I'm kind of lazy. Don't want to cut trails any wider than I have to. We're going to go over to the splitting table for a minute so that I can show you something that'll give you an idea of why I do things the way I do. Okay, this is an alder tree, and it was dead, hence why it blew down in the last windstorm. Now, you probably noticed when we were over yonder that after I cut the bottom half of that trunk in half, I didn't grab the back piece, I grabbed the piece in front of it. There's a reason for that. Anytime you have an alder tree or a maple tree, any kind of wood that has low rot resistance that's standing, a lot of times you're going to wind up just throwing the bottom part away. The reason for that is it'll go what's called punky. It's where the wood has actually started to rot. If you look at this piece up here, it's still nice and solid. It's got that cured alder color to it. But down here, it's gone all grainy and white. Yeah. This piece and the couple other pieces, once they dry out, they probably will still burn, but you don't want to be putting it in your stove right now because it's completely freaking saturated. Carrying this block over here, I could actually tell that one side of it was noticeably heavier than the other. It's because of all the moisture trapped in this part. So as I'm processing this, I'm actually kind of separating the good stuff from the punky stuff. The punky stuff's going to get stacked at the back where it won't get screwed with for a few months. And it very well might wind up getting burnt up in the fire pit there instead of going in the wood stove where it can clog stuff up. Now, if you were paying attention just now when we were over there on the wood splitter, you probably noticed, especially if you saw my polar vortex episode a few weeks ago where I actually showed off my wood stove, you've probably put two to two together and been like, wait a minute, those chunks of wood are way too big for his tiny ass wood stove. You're absolutely right. But as with everything I do, there's a method to the madness. I discovered last summer when I was putting up my wood for this winter that if I cut my wood already to length to go into the wood stove, it's almost impossible to stack because it's only like that long. So what I've started doing just to make less headaches for myself, and I've actually found that it makes things go a lot quicker because I don't have as much wood to handle, is I cut my wood so that there's two stove length pieces in each log, stick, whatever the proper term for an individual piece of firewood is. And then when I'm ready to put it in the stove, I do this. Now, every one of these chunks of wood will easily fit into the tiny wood stove, and it's easy to stack, easy to manage. Got a little, you probably can't see it, but I got a little milk crate down here that I throw all the chunks in after I've cut them up, get them into the house. Now, I just carry this over, knock on the front door, and Cadence will grab it and stack it up next to the wood stove for me. So I hope you enjoyed this short little test run. I can tell you right now, definitely going to be seeing more of that boom in the future. Probably when I start doing the serious logging for the year. So, in the meantime, like, please subscribe. I'm up to, actually, I'm not sure how many subscribers I have right now, but I could always use more. And if you really want to do something cool, head over to Patreon. You can try it for free for 7 days, and after that it's only $3 a month. That's where you get to see deleted scenes, extra footage. I have a little blog that I do over there, and every now and then either me or Cadence will say something that's a little too risque for YouTube, but usually pretty damn funny. I put all that stuff over there behind the paywall so that nobody freaks out over it. And like I said, it's only $3 a month. Go check it out. In the meantime, have a good one.